Good evening, everybody, and welcome to round 6 of AOR Season 15, Tier 1, the Speedy Boys. I am Rage F1, and I'm joined by Tim, my co-com, but he's not quite with us just yet. So we'll hold off on that for the time being or so. However, I'm sure he'll jump in the next few minutes or so. I'll let you know how that goes. Right, anyway, let's get into the bits and pieces for the race, because we have an hour of Suzuka today, and I will quickly jump into some running for you right about now. Oh, I've just had news just in. I'm not sure Tim is going to make it with us today. I think he's got a poorly little boy, so we will probably just be me, myself, and I for the remainder, but never mind. I'm sure it will be fantastic all the same. Right. Let's get over to some action so you guys can see exactly what's going on. We're still in free practice. We'll go through some of the highs and the lows of what's happened for the past couple of days, first couple of weeks, for AOR. And all the bits and pieces around Season 15. So far, at least, we've got a minute and a bit of practice, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's so you can tell I'm filling. Here we go. We do have some interesting things to discuss outside of Season 15. We'll get into that a little bit later. I will shout about that soon. As some of you avid listeners will know, AOR's going back endurance racing, but we'll come back to that. Standings then so far. Luke Whitehead still in the lead, 143 points, but snipping at the heels. Aidan Walsingham with 438. I think they may have swapped around last time out, but first and second, Luke versus Aidan. Round 6 we go for another one. I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but hey, third place, Jardier, fresh off the bat of his brilliant news of his new Clio Cup endeavour that he'll be taking on this year. He is in third place with 266 points. Valentin Barrier in fourth with 257. These are season standings, by the way. We'll go through what happened in Paul Ricard just shortly. Valentin Barrier, 257 points for him, and George Boothby in fifth place with 255. I'll just skim through the next outside the top 10. So you've got Sakari Lethnen in sixth, Alex Torregrosa in seventh. It's the Spanish Stallions in ninth. It's Alejandro Avilés and Harley Chamberlain in ninth place. Michael Thomas in 10th. Who's upper position. Moon Eyes to Campo in 11th, and we go further out. It's Mikowski, Foch, Warner, Prendergast, Fisher, Terminen, Sentema, Matt York, Remy Papin rounding out the top 20 of this Season 15. So last time out then in Paul Ricard, we saw mixed conditions coming to a head with multiple strategies. Luke Whitehead unfortunately losing out to Aidan Walsingham that time around. Aidan coming away with the W, Luke having to settle for second best in second place. Jards came across the line in third, Torregrosa fourth, fifth place was Michael Thomas. Congra Eel, Remy Papin, Lethenen, Avilés and Foch rounded out the top 10. It was a fantastic race, so hopefully this time out in Suzuka we get some more of that fantastic banter. Now, I think we are very, very shortly going to go over to the next session. I'm just going to give you guys a few little bits and pieces to make the stream fantastic for all of you watching. And that is access to pit wall. Let me pop it in the chat for you as well so you can watch all of the timing. I will pin it to the top so you can see what's going on with that. And yes, it is the penultimate round, guys. We've got some interesting stuff going on today with these boys. You can tell again, more filling. See who's actually out on track at the moment. I think a lot of people are actually in the pit. There we go, waiting for the changeover of situation, and that has come to fruition. We will go driving once again. Let's go on board with the current, not champion, but the man who's trying desperately to get that accolade this season. It is Aidan Walsingham. He's currently leading the pack away on his Saito lap. We'll see his twos and fros in the out lap as we go through the S's. Right, share a little bit more information about that announcement, And the announcement is Season 5 of the Endurance Championship with AOR is going to come back with a bang, starting off on the 27th of April with 10 hours of Spa. We have 8 hours of Silverstone on the 11th of May. On the 25th of May, we have 9 hours of Hungaroring, and the big one, boys, on the 8th of June, we have 12 hours of the Nordschleife. Banter! We'll see how that goes. Not sure it's even dropped yet, has it, the map? It will, I'm sure, drop very soon. So, no Tim this evening, I apologise. It will just be me, myself and Irene. So touching on that Endurance Season 5, not too sure when sign-ups are up, but the word is out. The information, I'm sure, if you want it, will be in the Discord. If you don't know where that is, guys, and you're new to us, then you can find AOR's Discord. I'm sure you can find the link to that on our website. Just search AOR, Apex Online Racing, and you'll find all the information you need if you wanted to join and take part in this fantastic season coming soon, I'm sure. Right, we can get into a little bit more of this racing then. Excuse me. We are actually on a fast lap with Aidan Walsingham now as he comes through the Degner curves into 9. Up through the gears then into the hairpin. Slight kink of 10. Lovely stuff. Then this nice long right-hander as we head down towards Spoon Curve. Tricky one, this, especially in wet weather, or if you've got a couple of cars around you. Pinch is quite thin here on the apex. And then spot your braking zone into the double apex corner that is Spoon. Fantastic complex. Down a gear for Aidan Walsingham then, as he winds open the taps. Remember, boys, he's in the Honda here, so he gets extra bonus points. Followed by the McDonald's of Thomas just behind. Flashes it through 120R. I think it's 120R. Through the final corner then, turn 18 as he crosses the line, opening his lap with a stunner. Let's have a look. Long line, this one. There you go, 158.5 is the time. We'll have Thomas crossing the line. He's actually just starting, I think. He's not actually on a lap at the moment. Alejandro, 1/10 away. Torregrossa, 1/10 away. Let's see if we can find then the current championship leader. Whereabouts is he? That's worrying. There he is. He's displaced his teammate quite spectacularly there. 2/10 in hand for Luke Whitehead. Walsingham drops down to 2nd place. Samir Foch with a fantastic 4th place there provisionally. We got Mikowski in 5th. Torregrossa pushed down then to P6. Zerbin Ranieri and I think that's Matthias in P9. Warner with a 10th place there with a 2nd off the fastest. Kieran Prendergast just outside that top 10. Well, there we go. The new DLC drops April 1st. Well, there you go. There's all the information you need. I'm sure if you wanted to get some more information about that Endurance Championship, you can do. There we go. It's on the Discord. It would also be on Apex Online Racing's website. And of course, guys, it's a community-run league. Don't pay anyone anything to do anything here. It's all done off the sweat of our brows and off the work in our hands. So anyone who wants to support Apex Online Racing, you can do on our Patreon if you wanted to. Again, I'm sure you can search that on Google. However, I will post it and pin it in the chat if you guys wanted to drop anything there to help Apex Online keep these kind of content and the racing going, then please do just hop onto that Patreon link if you would like, and you can donate as little or as much, or subscribe. I don't know how it all works. I'm pretty sure you subscribe to a certain amount and you can keep Apex Online going for years to come, I'm sure. Right, well, Luke Whitehead's still leading. We're watching him. He normally does too, so I wouldn't be surprised if he is on a faster one here. 3/10 up currently, coming through the final 3 corners. Nice little left-hander. Then the swooping right, then down across the line-ish. Alejandro displacing Luke Whitehead. Well, there you go. 4/10 up then for Luke. This would be a fantastic time into the 157s. There you go, 157.9. He gets himself a little bit of breathing room. Aidan Walsingham then is currently out and about on a sighter, or at least he's on the bubble. George Boothby, he's got time in hand. We'll go on board with him. Oh no, he's changed the Lexus. It's not the Lexus it once was. Big shame for George Boothby. Big shame today. He was on a really good lap there. Not too sure what happened. Someone else on a good lap. The Padawan coming through the final corners. SGSS doing well this season. First foray into AOR. The line is a little further down today. Whereabouts are we? It's across the line now. He'll get himself some positions there. Up to 9th then for the Padawan. Good stuff from him. Valentin Barrier also on a faster lap here. We'll keep an eye on him. He's actually being tailed quite aggressively by Luke Whitehead, who is on an out lap. So he's just getting up to speed. Boothby, good few tenths up on his time. He's down in 5th. Oh! That's strange for Barrier. He is in the barrier. Quite spectacularly there. Aidan up on his time by 10th or so. Boothby up on his time by 2. Let's stay with Aidan then as he negotiates the final few corners aggressively over the curbs. He's lost himself a 10th there, unfortunately. Not the smoothest way through there. Lost a little bit more time coming across the line. He won't improve, or if he does, it will be very minor. He might take DeCampo Moon Eyes, and he does not, unfortunately. That is not quicker than his last time out. Both him and Thomas pull it up there. So here is Boothby then. It's not the best character animation on that steering wheel inside the Lexus, is it? Never mind. Nice and compliant through 130R. That's what you want. Down the gears then. Into 16, 17 and 18. The car not trying to swap ends, which is nice. Running down the pit wall. 3/10 up on his time. This will be an improvement. Oh, goes 2nd place. Displacing Alejandro. Valentin Barrier going down. Obviously, Moonline DeCampos and everyone behind him will also drop. Aidan Walsingham then, current championship contender, down in 6th place. Languishing down there, unfortunately. Well, it's all not done in qualifying. It's the race where it counts. Where's Luke? He's currently on a lap at the moment, but he's not going any faster than he has on previous. Let's stick with him on the old helicam for a few corners. As we see him stretch his legs in that Porsche. So standard rules apply today. It's no refueling, and it will just be a pit stop required with a change of tyre. Probably going to be dry all day today, so no changes there. But interestingly enough, we've got high temperatures, 24 degrees ambient temperature, the track temperature 33 degrees. We have heard previously for the Ripper it could be a problem with his ducting. He has suffered with that car, but it seems faster in practice and also qualifying. We'll have to see how it goes in the race, whether that translates to race pace, keeps that slipstream going behind Thomas. Down towards the left-hander of 130R. I think it's 130R, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it is. Just call it Better Blanchiment. doesn't say he's improving here. No, it's a couple of hundredths slower. Luke does like to wind up his laps, though. Gets 2 under his belt, so this would be the one to watch, I would have thought. If he's going to put one together, it will be this one. We'll go on board then with Luke. Current pole sitter. Got a 10th in hand as he comes down towards Spoon. So does Alejandro in P2. He's found himself 2 tenths. Right, we've got a race for pole then. Alejandro's pole to gain here. Whitehead's to lose. Chris Warner on an improving lap from 8th place there. No one else really looking to threaten the top spot. Boothby on a lap but no improvement, unfortunately. He's on the bubble of his last time. So 1:57.9, currently the leading lap. A 10th in hand then for Luke Whitehead. He'll run it close to the pit wall. Shortest line across. Still got a 10th. It's good enough for a 1:57.8. And it is exactly that. 1:57.8 on the nose. There is the benchmark for qualifying for round 6. I think 6, maybe 5, can't remember. Alejandro is the man to beat it today. Or is he? Let's see. It's coming down towards turn 16. Can he do anything to displace? He can't. Slowed down by the looks of things to go one more. It's close at the top. Boothby's got it by a small margin. Everyone else is fighting around that kind of similar pace. Where's Aidan Walsingham? He is currently 7 tenths off Luke Whitehead's time. He's only got a 10th in the car at the moment. Valentin Barrier in 7th. He's improving. He's got a 10th in hand. Michael Thomas down there in 12th. He's got 2 tenths in hand. That's good enough to put him probably inside the top 5. So we'll have to see how that lap comes out. He's actually found himself 3 tenths. Looking even better for Thomas. What's Alejandro doing then at the moment? He has got to find himself 3 tenths to do any kind of damage to Luke Whitehead. And it's a hard task today. He is bouncing around the 1/10th mark. And he's off. Unfortunately, through the Degner curves. He is off. No further action from him then. Let's stay with Aidan. He's dropped down a further position. Displaced by Lethanen there with a good time. He's popped down to 10th place. He's got 2 tenths in hand. Like I said a second ago. It's good enough for the top 5, I think. He's just got to get across the line. Has had a sketchy lap through this last part of the track last time around, so he might be able to find some time here. He's got a 10th. I don't think it's going to be enough. He looks like he may have just got a little bit too much curb. He's going to go for one more. You can tell he's on the outside. He'll bank that and go for another. Up to 6th place then. It's not inside the top 5 like he wanted, but he's got enough time in hand to go one more time. One more push lap then for Aidan Walsingham. Whitehead and Alejandro, they're in the pit. No more from them. They'll finish no higher, at least, than Luke, at least in pole position. And Alejandro, no higher than 2nd. He could fall lower. Muniz de Campo, 5th place for him. He is currently on a lap that is improving by a 10th. Aidan Walsingham, at this stage, we're on board with him, isn't. Let's see what Muniz is doing then. He's just finished the Degner curves, going through 9 and 10 now. The session is done. SGSS in Storm today. Let's go. Let's make it top 10 then. Top 10 finish. That's what I like to hear, boys. We're on board at the moment with Muniz. Muniz de Campo through Spoon. He's got a 10th in hand. Walsingham still thereabouts. I've let it slip past me, actually, but Samir Foch, currently in 3rd place in that Ferrari. He does go well around here. We've seen him go well around here before. You can see him in the back of the picture there. He is on a lap, but I don't think it's going to be enough to threaten the people ahead. We'll keep an eye, though, as Samir goes for a high qualifying position today. Muniz de Campo still got a 10th. He's actually found 2. This could be good enough for 2nd row if he can just get it across the line. Let's see what he's lost all that time. He might have invalidated there, and I don't think that's going to be enough for de Campo. What a shame. He had it all there, and that's no improvement for him, unfortunately. Samir comes across the line, no improvement from him. Aidan Walsingham, whereabouts is he? He's got a 10th in hand. Through the final corner then. Just not been able to keep that 10th any further around the track, and he will finish just outside the top 5. It'll be 3rd row of the grid then for Aidan in 6th place. Very interesting. Chris Warner, Apex 1. He's coming through the final corner. Running down towards the line. He is actually down on his time. No improvements for Warner. Well, there you go. There is your qualifying today. Luke Whitehead taking a fantastic pole position. Miles ahead. Verstappen-esque in comparison. He was 3 and a bit tenths away from Alejandro. Brilliant qualifying for Luke, but he'll be joined by Alejandro on the front row. Valentin Barry and Samir Foch. There you go. There's the old guard on the 2nd row of the grid. Fantastic qualifying from Samir. Same from Valentin Barrier. George Boothby, Aidan Walsingham. Well, there you go. What a fantastic 3rd row of the grid. George Boothby and Aidan Walsingham looking to improve and to go further up the grid as this race evolves. What have we got then moving further back? Mattia de Campo, Muniz in 7th place with Remy Papin joining him in 8th. 4th row of the grid for them. 9th and 10th is Chris Warner and Sakari Lehtinen. 5th row of the grid for them. Torregrossa and Jards will be 11th and 12th. 6th row for those. 13th and 14th is Michael Thomas and the Padawan. That will be 7th row of the grid. First SGS car there we can see. Then we've got Christian Ranieri and Vulcan in 15th and 16th. And that will be 8th row of the grid. We've got Matthias... I think it's Gewaltz, and Kieran Prendergast. There we go. Kieran got 18th place. Matthias got 17th. That will be 9th row of the grid. 10th row will be Fabio Zerbin and Makowski, 19th and 20th each. Terminen and Jacob Blizzard, the other SGSS car, in the 11th row of the grid there. Stefan will be just behind him with Adam Dubil. That's Kokchachev, 23rd and 24th for them. That's 12th row of the grid. Luca Weidelich then back, but not, unfortunately, with a storm. He'll be joined on the... I think it's 15th row of the grid, roughly around there. Can't remember. We're getting lost. No, 13th row with Sylvian Almore. That'll be 25th and 26th for them each. Then we've got 14th row, Kevin Niles and Luca Tazzato. 27th and 28th for them. Then 15th row, Michael Pochopin and Matt York, 29th and 30th. We'll watch out for Yorkie because he normally does improve. And then the final row and the back of the pack, 31st and 32nd, is Skylar Loverinth and Lucas the Congretal in yes, that row 16, I think it is. Right, we got through it. 60 minutes of Suzuka. We look like we've got a warm track, even warmer than we had in practice. I don't think it's warm as in qualifying. I think we had 33 degrees, but the ambient temperature has stayed the same. We're going to have dry conditions. Looks like it's going to be slightly overcast. Optimum track. No wind, really. Will this suit Luke Whitehead? It seems to in qualifying. We'll find out in the race, I'm sure. We'll just quickly touch base on what's going on in the championship, guys, because I know some of you have joined very recently. Let's see how this is going so far. So Luke Whitehead currently in the lead, 443 points, joined by Aidan with 438 points. Jards in 3rd, and unfortunately a little bit out of the battle. He's got 266 points, but 3rd place is still up for grabs, and he's fighting alongside Valentin Barrier for that, who's 4th with 257 points. Also in that fight is George Boothby with 255 points, and arguably so is Sakari Lehtinen in 6th place with 241. Torregrossa is still there, but it's an outside chance with 7th place for him at the moment, 221 points, and Alejandro, who's currently 1st row of the grid, he's 8th place with 218. So within a shout, but not really too sure that 3rd place is on the cards. Harley Chamberlain. Don't think Harley is with us today. think that's a non-starter. Can't see him on the list. He's 9th place. Michael Thomas, the McDonald's Thomas, is here today, and he's in 13th place, and he's currently top 10 in the championship. Well, there you go. There's some standings. There's some information going on. Next time out, we are at Spa, guys, and it'll be a standard 60-minute race. Maybe some mixed conditions. We'll have to find out. Hopefully, Tim will be back. We can hope. But today, we got an hour-long race of Suzuka. Let's see how it goes, guys. Let's see. I'm sure we will have thrills and spills. I think what I should do, put a little poll. Hope you don't mind, I took the opportunity to have a cream egg. I love that this time of year. Cream eggs. The best invention. Haven't had one in a while, to be fair. How do you eat yours? All in one go, or you're biting it half and eat the middle bit, or... I know there's some weird ways to eat cream eggs. People dip chips in them. Very strange. If you're not from the UK and you don't know what a cream egg is, use Google. A fantastic invention. So the poll is in then. 8 votes. Wasn't going to do it for very long, guys. We're going to go into the race very shortly. 75% yes, 25% no. So lots of people think that Luke does have it in him to take the win today. I mean, chips with mango sauce is not that bad. That's revolting. Oh dear, Presman. That's that's a strange one. I'm not gonna lie. Right then, toe to toe, Luke Whitehead and Alejandro. See what they can get up to. A little bit of an unknown quantity racing down towards the line, these boys. I might have misheard you. See, I said a cream egg. If you know what a Cadbury's cream egg, had one of those. So some people do dip their chips in it. Very strange. Right then, almost going to go live then for 1 hour's worth of racing with AOR. It's the penultimate round of Season 15. It's been the closest season we've seen in a long time. It's been Luke Whitehead versus Aidan Walsingham. Aidan Walsingham all the way down in 6th place then, and Luke Whitehead in the top spot this afternoon. He is going up against Alejandro, Valentin Barrier, Foch Boothby and Walsingham for this W today, but let's see what Luke Whitehead can do. Last time out in Spa, in Suzuka. I'm pretty sure Luke ran away with it. Can he do it again? We're coming across the green line then, and we're going to go racing for 1 hour here at Suzuka. Good start from Luke Whitehead. Takes a commanding lead. Goes over to the left-hand side of the track. And as you can see, Boothby and Walsingham fight together. On the outside, Walsingham tries to get past Boothby. Samir Foch getting in the way. Valet there holding his line. Alejandro always good there in second place. No frights as we go through the S's then. I can't see like there's anything going on a little bit further back as everyone finds their position in this little snake. Mooneyes to Campo just ahead of Remy Papin and Lethenen there in the back of that little snake. Let's hop back then on board with Michael Thomas and Paduan. No moves that look dangerous from these boys. We go on the old cam of the wing. Paduan going toe to toe with Ranieri through the Degner. Ranieri taking off to the grass. And that's definitely not the quick way through there. Off to Nani you go, Ranieri. And he'll drop himself way down the pack. I'm pretty sure that was Ranieri. I could be wrong. We'll find out in a minute when we come through the next timing zone. Disaster for the number 19. It's not updated yet. It might not have been Ranieri. I think it might have been, actually. Yeah, there you go. He's back on. And he's actually just tussling with Luca Weidelich and co. Back there. That's right at the very back, I think. I think that's Luca. I think that's Skylar Loverink, yeah. So incidents already then. Ranieri taking off to save the car for some reason. I'm not too sure why. It's still line of stern then. Luke Whitehead taking the early lead. Got himself half a second in it between him and Alejandro. Valentin Barrier already trying to sniff the back end of that Aston Martin. It's Aston Martin versus Aston Martin. We do have Samir Foch in the Ferrari. A little bit of an unknown quantity, Samir, around here. I know he does go well, but we have to see how long he can hold on to it with the might of George Boothby just behind, because that car is fast. We know it's fast. We're pretty sure that this Lexus has got the beans this season. Aidan Walsingham's going to have a hard time finding his way past if he wants to threaten for some higher points. Aidan can see his championship slipping away with every lap that we've got here today. So lap 1 then goes in the way of Luke. Ranieri, the main casualty, and all the way down to 28th place. He was around 15th. We were on the rear wing of Michael Thomas when that incident happened. Never mind. Aidan getting very close to Boothby, it seems. Right, let's settle in then for the long run. Use some normal TV cameras as we follow Boothby's progress through this pack. Might misheard you. I'm a pineapple and pizza guy, so nothing scares me. Yeah, I don't mind pineapples on pizza. I did hear this one maniac that used to like pineapple on their pizza, but not cooked. They would add the pineapple on afterwards. What kind of psycho would do that? I don't know. Let's hop back to this little battle then. The battle of the BMWs. Michael Thomas versus Toro Grossa. Indeed, yuck. This is for 12th place. Michael Thomas was only 2/10 away from Toro Grossa through the last little section there. That gap eked out a 10th. Warner getting close to Remy Papin as well. This little battle going on for second place is getting pretty close. Samir Foch getting interested. So is Boothby. Right on the back of Alejandro. He's struggling a little bit on pace. We'll stay with Barrier and see if we can work out what the situation is, why he's struggling. Oh yeah, he's got a little bit of understeer there. Car was not behaving in the way he would like. In the middle part of the corner when you're leaning on that tyre. Having to dab the brakes there on the apex as he missed it by a country mile through the S's. a bit more compliant through the Degner curves. Tight little battle starting to unravel for second place then. Doesn't look like Alejandro's really been able to shake this little pack, has it? Luke really, though, isn't running away. He's only got 1.2, seeing as we're going into the third lap now. Normally that little gap would start to eke out slowly. We're almost 10 minutes in, and he's only managed to keep 1.2 seconds from Alejandro. Such is the pace. I think once released, the cars behind him probably could stay with Luke Whitehead, if that is the current pace that he's putting down. What was his last lap? It was a 1:59.2. It was the fastest lap of the race, to be fair. He has actually just started going a little bit faster. The cars behind then that we're watching, 1:59.7, so it was actually a darn sight faster. So maybe Luke Whitehead just waiting for that car to warm up before he starts putting in that kind of pace to pull away and break that slipstream that keeps the cars very close together. Not too sure why we've lost the Lexus today, as in the paint. Maybe Boothby didn't apply the right one. Normally we have the horror story that we've all come to know and love, but it's definitely not that at the moment. It's looking pretty good. Walsingham super close now. Might have a run here. That Lexus is so quick though. Aiden just struggling to stay with it, even in the relatively quick on the straight Honda, and there comes the Lexus's problems. High speed corners just not there. Aiden losing the rear end through turn 16 and the hairpin. Sorry, the little triangle there is Casio, I think it's called. Horrible section of corners, especially in these GT3s. Aiden using the track and a little bit more to try and maximise that entry speed. Gets the car slowed down, but goes deep in the second part of turn 1. That's lost him some time. See him visibly drop back. Moon Eyes has got closer. It's a shame. Aiden maybe just getting a little bit caught out on that entry point. We saw him take the grass. Maybe that didn't help Aiden's entry. So Luke is starting to pull away now. 1.7 is the gap. Last time out it was 1.2, so that's half a second he's managed to find, and the fastest lap 1:59, almost dead. So yeah, going very quick. Only 2 seconds really off his qualifying time. 1 and a bit really. Do take it for granted that Samir is actually using this old Ferrari still and putting it to good work. Don't be surprised if you see an early pit stop pulled by Samir. Oh, Alejandro goes wide in the second part of Spoon. He'll be punished for that, going down towards 120, 120, whatever it is. Fake Blanchiment. 150R, is it? Can you remember? Was it 130? It's 130. I forget. Had to Google it. 130R. Something to do with the radius. Exactly 130 degrees or something. Who knows? Here comes Samir then. Oh, a little bit of a tap there. All good though. Finds a way round. I'm not sure that's the fastest way through the hairpin. Have to go again in a few corners' time. Come on, Samir. It's for podium position. First time we've seen him up in the podium places this time, this season. It's going strong today, Samir. Good stuff from him. Really strong pace. Last time out was 159.5. Those around him doing 59.6s, 59.8s. For Alejandro. Alejandro suffering actually. 59.5 is his best. That's Samir's last lap. And at the moment, Samir's consistently putting in 59.5, sorry. So yeah, he's definitely the fastest man of this group, which is good to see. He's got a good run on Valet here. He might have a go. Tucked deep in that gearbox. Is he going to ping to the right? No, he goes for the left hand, the long way round. He's going to take the cutback though. Oh, try and get into that apex. Understeer of that car, letting him down. Valet has the same issue though. Right out to the exit curb. And then through the S's, nothing there, unfortunately, for Samir to really connect with. Slightly contrasting lines as he tries to work out his opponent ahead. But good defence there from Valentin Barrier. No erratic moves. Just stayed on the same line, and that's what you want when you're trying to work out someone on pace. Samir going really well here today. Luke's got himself a 2.5 second gap now from Alejandro. Alejandro's not pulling away, he's suffering still. It looks like the Aston Martins are just generally suffering today. Whereabouts is Jards? He's P10 at the moment. There's a little Aston Martin gaggle, Papin, Warner and Jards all together. This is definitely the battle to watch at the moment. Aiden and Boothby getting very close as well. Fantastic looking car, that Ferrari. You forget. Much more aggressive into 16 than that Aston Martin can take. It's like Samir's just got the one up there. Slightly better than the other cars around him. So last time out was a 1:59. So it wasn't. It was a 2 minute for all three drivers actually. They've all fallen outside the 2 minutes. The only person running around in the 59s at the moment was Luke Whitehead. Strange that they should all go outside of the 2 minutes. Second place, third place, fourth place and fifth place all outside of 2 minutes in that last lap. Boothby was the last of those. Aiden was a 1:59.997 just behind. Desperately trying to get past this gaggle of cars so he can threaten for the lead with Luke Whitehead and keep that championship alive. But Luke's doing everything he can now. He's doing everything he needs to do to extend that championship lead. Let's go aboard Samir. Desperately trying to work out where Barrier's weaknesses are. It seems to be medium to high speed corners on apexes, that Aston Martin just isn't as confident as the Ferrari. We'll see it in the second part of the swoon curve here. Entry's fine. Alejandro struggling there too. To be fair, Samir missed it by a mile as well. So the concrete eel's got himself a 5-second time penalty, the first of the naughty stamps. We'll run away quickly and see what that's for. We're a quarter of the way into this race now. 44 minutes remaining. Oh my goodness, Boothby getting rather sassy on the outside, and he does actually make that position stick. That's crazy. Samir Foch shows him where he can go. That position will not stay with George. He'll have to give that back, but he'll fight that. Aidan Walsingham then trying desperately to get past Samir. They go down towards turn 1. God, what's going to happen here? Boothby on the outside. Oh, we saw it coming a mile away. There's Walsingham. Unfortunately, taking the brunt of that Lexus. Boothby taking his corner, not knowing Aidan Walsingham's there. I did kind of call it. So, oh God, what's going to happen here? So, Walsingham sets himself just behind, I think that's Volkan and Asiacek, and Mikowski just behind. So, yeah, that's a real shame, that. That's all the way down in P14th, I think. Yeah, because that's Mikowski and Prendergast there in P14th and 15th. So, yeah, that's annoying. P13 then for Aidan Walston. That's really going to hurt the championship right there. Well, although it's bad for Aidan, it's not bad for Moon Eyes DeCampo and Remy Papin and Chris Warner and Jardier. That little bit further behind, all desperately trying to find this top pack and hunt them down. Walsingham's going to have to do something different, I think, if he wants to keep his championship alive. Pit stop early, gets himself some free air, possibly, on the cards. George Boothby, though, just absolutely munching Samir on the straight, attacking through 130R. And then, yeah, you saw the chaos that happened into turn 1. Let's stay with Boothby as he tries again on Samir. It's a shame. Samir was lapping fast. He's doing very well. Arguably just the same as George. George obviously just had a very good run and thought, well, let's go for it. That was Valentin Barrier in the barrier. We missed that. Let's go back a few seconds, see if we can find out what happened. Did he lose it on his own? Chasing Alejandro. Think he might touch the outside. He does. Dips the corner and then spins the car into the barrier on the inside. The lightest of touches, but he'll have to hold the brakes for a long time. All the other cars kind of spin past, and he's stuck. He'll be stuck to the back end of this snake because he can't move. And he's stuck exactly to the end. Unfortunately, he's out just ahead of Terminen. Or no, behind Terminen. That's in front of Skyler Loverink. Or is it? Yes, it is. That's Loverink and Kevin Niles just behind. Walsingham does do something different and pulls it into the pit. And disaster then for Valentin Barrier. Oh, goodness. The guy can't catch a break this season. Junko Terminen just ahead. I'm pretty sure. And that'll be Skyler Loverink just behind. Never mind. He dropped the car on his own, unprovoked, for Valet today. Unfortunately, finding that inside barrier. But he pinched himself. He couldn't move. He was on the apex of that corner. And there's nothing you can do. You have to wait until all the cars pass. Otherwise, you get yourself naughty points and cause more accidents. So, yeah, disaster for Valentin Barrier. He will be right down the back now. You can't actually see him. He's in P24. Right, let's just double-check what was happening then with those naughty points that have been awarded to those drivers towards the back end. I did see them up there. Let's see if we can get some information about what that is all about. So it's Lucas Congretal, so the Congra Eel, left their pit box during the qualifying session, having to serve a qualifying ban. That gives himself a license point. So because he went out in qualifying, he gets himself a license point for doing so. Naughty. Then we've got Wilf Padawan, responsible for a minor avoidable collision with Christian Ranieri, lap 1. That was obviously when Ranieri went off, I think. 1 license point. So, yeah, the bonus of lap 1 wasn't applied, unfortunately, for that one. So, I don't think there was also... I don't think Wilf's got himself a penalty for that. No further action for 19. Or 17. Anyway. Then there was a more serious accident with Lucas Congretal, responsible for causing a minor avoider collision with Kevin Niles. Lap 1, bonus not applied. That's 1 license point. 5-second time penalty for both. There you go. 5 seconds for Padawan, 5 seconds for Lucas. And then finally, we've got lap 1 penalty for car 840, is it? There you go. For involving a moderate avoidable collision with car number 717, 29, 81 and 695. There you go. Oh, we've got another one coming in. That gets him 3 license points plus 1 for lap 1. 4 naughty points for Adam DeBille in 1 incident. That's confusing. AC check, responsible for causing a moderate avoidable collision with cars, I think that's 12 and himself. No further action for 12. 2 naughty points for Vulcan. And he'll get himself a 20-second time penalty. 15-second time penalty was Adam DeBille's penalty. Let's go back to the race then. Don't think anything's changed. We've still got Luke Whitehead in the lead. Alejandro in 2nd place now, hunted down by Samir Foch. Boothby in 4th. Muniz de Campo in 5th. And we've got Chris Warner and Jards in 6th and 7th. Roman Papin in 8th. Thomas in 9th and Makowski in 10th. Just outside then, Prendergast, Matthias, Zerban, DeBille, Tazzato, Matt York in 16th place. Take your hat off, Matt. That's ridiculous. Started in P30. He's up to P16. What an improvement for this man. I know we've had some pits. That's probably why. Congretal, I think that's Kolchenshev, Amor, Weidlich and Barrier all in the pits. Walsingham too, Torregrossa as well. But still, Matt York up into P16. What a race. Good stuff from him. Yorkie doing very well. I think we do have some people out by the looks of things. I think Junko is out, Jacob Blizzard is out, and Christian Ranieri also out. Valentin Barrier is your last driver running around in P27. Only 27 cars still in it today, unfortunately. Oh, that will be a stop-go 30-second for speeding in the pit lane for Torregrossa. That's a pack-up-and-go-home penalty, unfortunately. Romy Papin in the pit. He's decided to come in now and get it done. We'll see how much the early pit is worth with him against Aidan Walshingham in a minute, because he's the furthest up we've seen just pit. I'm sure Aidan will come out ahead, or will be ahead, when Romy Papin comes out. And the only battle I can see at the moment is these two. They've been battling all race long. Matt York pulls it in, so does Kevin Niles from I think that's P18 now for Matt York. So last time out, a race winner. Currently running around in P21. Remy Papin's been released, but I don't know if he's going to get out before this man. Where is Papin? Papin through turn 1. There you go. There's the yardstick then. It got him some time, I think. Aiden. Torregrossa just ahead, but he's due to serve a stop-go. Matt York gets a stop-go 30. Disaster. That'll be speeding in the pit lane. Size in Yorkie. He'll be very despondent with that, I'm sure. Right, let's go on board then with this little battle. And they are still going toe-to-toe. Boothby looking for a way past Samir. It's been like this all race long for these guys. Desperately trying to find a place to get round. And there you go. Looks like it's going to be equalised there as Samir pulls in the car. And he's one of the first of the top drivers to do so. Moon Eyes comes in now. So does Judge. So does Thomas. They decided it's time for a pit. So yeah, interesting stuff for them. Well, let's see then with Remy Papin then how far he can get up to those guys. Where is he now? He's just coming up to Spoon Curve. He's behind Torregrossa, who's got a disaster on his hands. Never mind. Easy to get a stop-go here. It's happened to me before many times. Must just be a nuance of this track. So here comes Papin then. Coming through 16, 17 and 18. We're on board Papin because he's a bit of a yardstick to what's going on ahead. So Samir's been released. DeCampo's been released. Jards, no. Now they've been released. Here you go. So there's Jards. There's Thomas. There's Moon Eyes. Through turn 1. Torregrossa having to give space. And that's how much it was worth for Remy Papin to get the job done in his early pit stop. And he's not been able to do it. To get that... Oh, it's frustrating for Papin because he knows that Torregrossa's got a penalty ahead. But Torregrossa's on no terms to give up that position. Doesn't have to. You almost feel obliged to get out of the way when you know there's a car behind that's fighting desperately for that position, and when you're well out of it because of your stop-go, it's just pain, unfortunately. Thomas just behind. There's Walsingham in the mix as well. Arguably, this is for like 5th, so it's all worth fighting for. Obviously, you've just got Torregrossa really in the way, unfortunately. DeCampo did very well there to keep that car in the straight line with Jards right behind, exiting the pit. Coming through Torregrossa as well. Papin's very quick at this stage. Really needs to get past that BMW. As we're just about to tick past the halfway mark today. So at the moment, Aidan Walsingham is your fastest man on track. There he goes. He's to serve his stop-go then for Torregrossa. We've got some more cars that have just pitted coming out. Got a funny feeling that's Chris Warner just ahead of Moon Eyes. And right in the distance, you can see the flashing red car of Samir Foch. Matt York looks like he's not serving yet, but he will be soon. Moon Eyes struggling in the low speed. And Jards desperately looking to get past. Caught in the wash of the car, going slightly wide, but managing to hold on. Can Papin catch them squabbling? Thomas is behind this pack, but still a little bit of a way back. 8 tenths, then Walsingham 2 tenths behind him. Boothby's in the pit then. He's got himself 15-second time penalty. Interesting. Very interesting. That will be for the Walsingham incident into turn 1. And now the time penalty's been served in the pit. So Boothby's going to come out 15 seconds behind everyone else. So he'll probably be around Mikowski, I would have thought. Maybe a little bit further back. Prendergast, Lethenen, maybe even with Mateus and P15 after that, I think. So yeah, casualties throughout the pack at the moment. This is good for Warner. Warner, I think, is net third at the moment. Apex 1 needs to keep his cool. This at the moment is really fighting for third place. This battle that we're seeing at the moment, I think. Everything to play for. It involves Chris Warner, Moon Eyes DeCampo. We've got Jardier in it as well as Remy Papin, who we're on board with. We're watching it from the cockpit of the young Frenchman. I bet Jards is sweating. But what a fantastic race if you're on board with Jards at the moment to watch him weave his way through behind Moon Eyes DeCampo and Chris Warner of Apex 1. Warner currently net third. Samir Foch in second, possibly? No, I'm getting it wrong. It's Luke Whitehead in the lead. Loverink's out of it. He's just out of position. Whitehead's in the pit, by the way. Alejandro is second. Samir is third. These guys are fighting for fourth. And what a race it's been so far. Jards versus DeCampo has been good, not going to lie. Desperately trying to get past anywhere he can. So where did Boothby end up? 13th place. Wow. He'll gain a place, I think, from Skylar Loverink when they decide to come in. Luke Whitehead will be coming out, I would have thought, very soon as well. These guys are coming through 130 now, so... That was Warner going very wide there. He'll lose some time. Alright, Whitehead's been released. And I think he'll be a good 5 seconds clear of this pack. Let's see whereabouts he is. Yeah, not under threat at all from Alejandro. Alejandro and Samir are going to go toe-to-toe soon, I'm sure. But this is the one we're watching then at the moment. Jards versus DeCampo. It's gone bored with DeCampo, look. Aiden's still with the fastest lap. What is that lap? Was the last one? Let's have a little look. Whereabouts is he? P18. Was he that far down? He was right behind these guys a minute ago. What happened to Aiden? What was this last lap? Must have happened this lap. Why is he so far down? What happened to Aiden Walsingham? So I want to know. He's with Valet. He must have had an off. We're going mad. I have to check his last lap time. Maybe it was through turn 1. I thought he was right at the back of that pack for 7th. He was behind Thomas, wasn't he? We'll check his times when he comes across the line, but I think that might have happened this lap. It's gone bad to worse for Aiden Walsingham, unfortunately. Unless he pitted. Did he pit again? Very confusing. Chat, if you saw that, do fill us in, because I have no idea what happened there. Right, what's going on then between these guys as they all try and work out what's happening? Let's go on board with Jards. Munai's got himself a nice run there on Chris Warner. He looks for the position into turn 1. Warner slams the door closed, and that allows Judds to really gain some places and get right behind that 99. Remy followed him by the looks of things. He did. Also close, this little pack. I really do wonder what happened to Aiden there. Never mind, we missed it, unfortunately. Thought he was much higher than where he was. Alejandro with the fastest lap. Going quicker then, in second place. What was that? 158.9. Luke Whitehead had a disastrous last lap. Was that because of this pit? I'm assuming it is. This pit exit. What's the gap between those two now? Let's see. 4 seconds, jeez. Luke's doing the business. I knew he would. I think last time out we raced in Suzuka. Luke absolutely stormed it. Got a funny feeling it was a long session, and he stormed it. So let's just see how much of a gap he can pull this season. I'm desperately going through the previous seasons to try and find out the last time we were around Suzuka, and Luke Whitehead did win. The 159.4 was his fastest, and he won by 5 seconds from Aidan Walsingham, who qualified P1. And it was back then the Porsche of Luke Whitehead and the Mercedes of Aidan. He was in an AMG GT3. Was he really? Don't remember that. It was season 11. I think that went the way of Luke Whitehead. I'm sure he's a 4-time champion. I know we talked about this. Yeah, I think he's 4-time champion. And on the road now to make it 5. Never been done before. 4 had never been done. Luke Whitehead, the current Verstappen of AOR. Just racking up championships. Racking and stacking. Not wins, but definite championships. It's not been a dominant Luke Whitehead season. Had a much tougher fight this season from his teammate Aidan Walsingham, but yeah, Aidan just having a terrible race today. P16. He's going to be desperately beside himself, fighting for the championship with the reigning champ, and then having a disaster here. And I think this is where he's thrown away season 15. I hate to say it. The fight will still be on next time around at Spa, but he's got to hope that Luke has an absolute disaster if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive. I'm just going to go and put it out there. I'm not sure Luke will have a disaster at Spa. All depends if it rains. Boothby takes the fastest then. Whereabouts is Boothby? I think he's right behind Lethenen. I think he might have actually passed Lethenen. He has. There you go. Who's up next? I think it's Prendergast. There you go. You can see him in the Brabham coloured car. This little battle, still the battle to watch then, it looks like. Stay on board for Judds. He tries to work out Muniz de Campo and Chris Warner. So 2/3 down now, 20 minutes to go. As Jardier just knocks on that rear end and goes tap, tap, tap. I'm still here. Tough old track, Suzuka. Doesn't really give itself to overtaking. So it can be a bit stagnant at times. In all of this, by the way, Remy Papin is right on the back of Jards. Just behind him, Thomas is also incredibly close. It's a good little battle, this. Aiden getting incredibly close to Valet. Must be very frustrating for him, going all the way down to P17, and then being stuck behind one of the fastest men on the grid. Yeah, very tricky for Aiden today. He knows though if he sticks with him, he'll probably get up the grid a little bit. But yeah, tough. He's got a long old journey to get back into some good points. Still points, but just slightly better points up the road. Who's next for these two? I think it's Zerbin, and then the Congra Eel and Matthias, and then on to Lethen, and then you're on the back of Boothby, who's going incredibly quickly now. He's been released, looking to try and find Prendergast for another overtake. So we'll stay with bated breath with Boothby's progress up the grid. Luke still leading, 5 seconds from Alejandro. Samir in third. What a third place it would be if Samir can do that. Can't remember the last time we had Samir on the podium. Again, I'd have to scour through the history of AOR to find that. Always knocking on the door, never there. But doing the business today. That car's obviously quick round here. It takes so much curb, that Lexus. He's so quick through there. He just absolutely munches it. He might go for a move hit. He definitely is going for a move hit. Oh my god. Pulls it into the apex of turn 1. Prendergast's going wide through the second part of turn 1. And there goes Boothby. Fantastic overtake. Gets himself up into P10. Kieran Prendergast, unfortunately, is going to have to take that and drop himself a position back. What an overtake. The power of that Lexus is so strong with this BOP. Custom BOP this season, I might add. Doing fantastically well in a Lexus for George. Seasoned veteran, isn't he? The UK OG, he likes to say. Let's see what's happening a little bit further up. Luke Whitehead still winning by a country mile. Alejandro in second. Samir chasing, 1 second behind. Then we've got Warner, DeCampo, Jards, all incredibly close. Looking for a way round, isn't he? Jardier's really having a problem. Not able to get past that AMG Mercedes. Looks like Chris Warner's just been able to peel away from Moon Eyes. Right, we're inside the last 15 minutes then. Let's hop back. It looks like Lucas is getting incredibly close to Matthias and Lethinen. See if we go on board with the Concrete Eel. He's had a bit of a mixed race this race. Served himself a penalty. He's got himself some naughty points today. He's chasing down Matthias Gewaltz. I don't even want to pronounce that correctly. Let's just call him Matthias. Sakari Lethinen just ahead. The Finnish driver in the Honda P12 up for grabs then. What can the Conga Eel do then? I wonder where Lucas is from. Should we find out? He's French. He is French. Quite a few Frenchmen in the championship today. Valentin Barrier obviously being the lead in Frenchman. Remy Papin, of course. Now we found out Lucas is also part of that Franco clan. Got any others? No more Frenchies in today. Got lots of Brits. Lou Whitehead, Aidan Walsium, George Boothby, Harley Chamberlain, Michael Thomas, all flying the flag for GB. Chris Warner, Kieran Prendergast, Matt York, the Padawan, Kevin Niles, Traction Dave also. Do have some Yanks as well. We've got Skylar Loverink and Jacob Blizzard from the big US of A. A couple of Spaniards, Torregrossa and Alejandro. The two Spaniards. A couple of Poles as well. Adam DeBeal, Rafael Colton, Jarabowski and Nowicki. Of course, we've got a few Italians. Fabio Zerban, Tizzato, Alessio Mellers, also part of that pack. Mattia De Campo, Moon Eyes, also an Italian. Very interesting. Oh, Concrete Eel getting incredibly close now. Of course, we've got the Dutch. Love their sim racing, the Dutch. Gert Fischer, Abe Sintema. As Dutch as they come. Got a Belgian as well. Jensel the Lentil van Thalen. Little Belgian man there. I think the only Belgian we've got in this series. Samir Foch. I wonder where that's from. Where's Samir from? Goodness knows. I might have to ask him. Christian Ranieri's Brazilian. Fantastic. Christos Podens is also from the same place that Samir Foch is. I have to ask him. Oh my goodness! There goes Matthias. We've got a bit deep into nationalities there. Matthias yeeted himself off after 130R. Where is he now? He's just behind, I think that's Wilf, is it? No, that's a back marker, I think. Christ. Well, that hurt. Never mind. Alright, Luke's still leading. Got himself 5 seconds in hand now. Alejandro still second place. Samir's dropped off, unfortunately. Where's Samir? Samir's still in P3, but he's got himself a bit of a gap now. Chris Warner then, still leading this pack that contain P4, 5, 6, 7, 8 place, I think. So there's Mattia De Campo, sorry. Jardier, Remy Papin and Michael Thomas also still part of this little gaggle of cars. Then we've got Mikowski, who has now been caught by George Boothby. The man is on a charge to get back into this top 10. He is just about in it now. So he's got himself a little bit of work to do. Not a lot. He's got to find himself about 5 seconds. And he'll be up with Thomas and Papin for really where he should be. What kind of times is he doing? He's currently the fastest man out on track. His last was a 1:59.5. His best is a 1:58.6. Jesus Christ, Boothby's going fast. Right, so 1:59.5 at the moment. That's what Jards has just done. He did a 1:59.5 last time out, so he's going as fast as Jards. He's definitely going faster than Papin and Thomas at the moment, so Boothby on a charge. See what he gets himself across the line here. 1:58.6 is, yeah, it's faster than what Luke's been putting down. Let's put it that way. Should be quick, this Lexus. That was a 1:59.1, so he's definitely going faster than the cars he's catching at the moment. But he's got to get past Christoph first, so we'll see what he can do and how long it takes him. The little battle then for 4th place has kind of opened up into 2 parks now. You've got Thomas and Papin, and then Jards Mattia and Chris Warner. Let's go on board with Jards, see if he can muster the energy to get past these guys. He's, yeah, always seems to be fighting, just Jardier. How long we got left? 7 minutes to go then. Luke Whitehead still in the lead, managing, I'm sure, 5 seconds in hand. Going very smoothly today. Alejandro doing the business in P2 at the moment. Samir in P3. I've got to find out when the last time we spoke to Samir. I honestly don't know. It's going to be a little while ago, I'm sure. I've got no clue if Samir has actually ever been in the booth with us for a chat. It'd be fantastic if he has. I'm going through all of the seasons now and checking where Samir finished. No, highest I've found him so far is 6th place. I can't go any further back than season 10, unfortunately. So look, where are you, Samir? He's always here. Get inside the top 10 that time. There he is. Oh, he had a good season that season. Yes, he's been in once before. There you go. Season, what's that? 11, 12, 13. 2 seasons ago, we had a 3rd place from Samir Foch. Whereabouts was that? Was that Donny? It was Donington Park. There you go. 3rd place in Donington Park, season 13. I don't think we've seen him since. So it was season 14. I don't think we saw him. Pretty sure we didn't. I think I've broken it. We'll come back to that later. Right, what's going on then? Looks like Boothby's got himself past Mikowski. Thank goodness for him. Must have dispatched him last time around. We missed that. Sorry, guys. I was too busy finding out if Samir has been on the podium before, which he has. And the only reason I do that is because Samir's been a mainstay in AOR Tier 1 in a long time. Pranav Calavella is cheering on Fabio Zerbin tonight, doing a fantastic job today. Where is Fabio Zerbin? Let's have a look. Fabio is in P14. There you go. Visceral Esports. Italian man. Alejandro. Yes, Alejandro in 2nd place. First time I think Alejandro's been up in the 2nd place, that's for sure. Yeah, good looking car for Fabio Zerbin. Visceral Esports. Whereas at P14 at the moment. He's got fast boys coming up behind him. Valentine Barrier, Aidan Walsingham, hot on the heels, so he's going to have to speed up if he wants to hold on to that position. Right, what's going on then? With Jards incredibly close to Muniz de Campo now. He's hunting him down. Oh my goodness. Pushing him towards the Degner curves. Christ. Skyler Loverink has got themselves a 5-second time penalty. Goodness knows what that's for. We can find out later. Probably something menial for a 5-seconder. A little slap on the old wristaroo. Not going to do too much damage where they are. The P21. 4 seconds behind them is Pochopin. Just got to find yourself a second or so. And Skyler Loverink won't have to worry about that penalty. So Boothby's 3 seconds behind Thomas now. 3.6 seconds behind Thomas. It's this pack that we're watching right now. Quite a quick car, that Mercedes. This is why Jards is struggling. You can get close to him through the speedy bits, a little bit more reliable through the corners, but as soon as he gets anywhere near a point where he can overtake, it's normally after a large straightaway, and it's almost impossible for Jards to get that car where it needs to be. Again, incredibly close to the same part of the track. Hoping for a mistake, I'm sure. 2 minutes to go though. Not sure it's going to happen. I think Jards is going to have to settle for 6th place. Muniz de Campo done a fantastic job to keep him behind, to be fair. It's definitely well deserved. I think Boothby might just be a little bit out of it now to get onto the back of Thomas. But what a comeback drive for him. Almost as good as Matt York's 16th place earlier. I think Matt York's disappeared into the ether now after that penalty. Is he still here? He is still here. But yeah, unfortunately he's way back now. Adam DeBille behind him, Torregrossa in front. Not what he wanted today, unfortunately. Talking about not what he wanted. Aidan Walsingham languishing in P16. He's got fast company though. Valentine Barrier with him. Has been with him for the past 5 or 6 laps, I'm sure. Not really been on the pace today. Unfortunately for Aidan, he's got himself into some trouble, and it's caused a few problems for him. Right, this is the last lap of the race. Just about to, we're on it now. As you saw, Luke Whitehead shooting through turn 1. He's got Matt York just ahead of him for lappage. I'm sure he'll stay behind for now. 2nd place then, Alejandro still there. Samir still there. I think he's settled in with the idea that he's got himself another 3rd in AOR, the 2nd to add to his career standing. And this is the battle that's become interesting. It's Jards versus Muniz. It's still going. Michael Thomas versus Remy Papin. Again, still going. No changes, unfortunately. The Czech driver desperately trying to get past the Italian Muniz de Campo. It's been incredibly hard for Jards this race to try and do something about it, but I think it's going to stay in the way of de Campo. Coming towards Spoon Curve then for this man, who's done a stellar job under no pressure whatsoever, I'm sure. He's not had anyone on his level today. Luke Whitehead has driven an impeccable race. Not put a foot wrong. A little bit of wobble in the first stint. Didn't pull away as quick as expected. This little squabble that we can see going on between these boys is it's kept us interested for the past half an hour. Yorkie bringing home the current championship leader for 100 more points there. Luke Whitehead will take another win in AOR, making his tally of wins, I think, up to 2 or 3 now for this season. It's not been dominance, but it has been today. Luke Whitehead then, 100 points and the win. Alejandro coming home for a valiant second place. Samir Fosh, take a bow, sir. 3rd place for him. The old-timers still doing it. And you see the boys coming across in the background. There's Chris Warner taking the position from Moon Ice. Jardier in 6th. And that's, I think that's Thomas and Remy Pappin coming across the line together. Mikowski and Kieran Prendergast taking the line too. Lethenen and the Congra-Il coming across the line together. Oh, look at this with Valentine Barrier running to the line with Aidan Walsingham right there too. Doesn't get the position, unfortunately. And then we've got the right at the end, Skylar Lovering and Junko Terminen going toe-to-toe through the final corner. And I think Junko's just going to get him across the line. Skylar going wide, Junko on the inside. And what a finish for those two. Christ. You couldn't really make that up. Kevin Niles coming through a lonely 23rd. Pochopin across the line as well. Torregrossa, after a disastrous race, will come across the line too. And I think he'll be the last one across the line for us today. He's got himself a couple of penalties and a drive-through, or a stop-and-go, whatever it was. And that is the penultimate round of AOR's Season 15. And we have one more to go before we crown a champion for this season. And it looks like all the odds are on now after that performance to be with the 55, the Ripper, Luke Whitehead. Fantastic race from him. And yet, no competition really after the disasters that befell to his competition all around him, it seemed. Yorkie's still on his lap, is he? Sorry. I thought he got it done. Sorry, Matt York. There you go. There we go. Across the line. He did. Yeah, no, you're right. He stayed ahead, didn't he? He stayed ahead of Luke Whitehead. And he gives us a lovely little burnout across the line for Matt York. Unfortunate for him. He was looking strong at one point. Started off 30th, finished 25. Had some disasters around him, but still did the business. Well done, Matt York. Well, there we go. P6 for Pappin, indeed. Alejandro gets himself a 2nd place, and Samir Fosh in 3rd. 1, 2, 3 then. Luke Whitehead, Alejandro, and Samir. Just outside of that, then, Chris Warner, fantastic 4th place for him. Moon Eyes de Campo with 5th. Jardier for 6th. Remy Pappin for 7th. Michael Thomas for 8th, I think, roughly around there. Yes, that's about it. Well, as always, we normally have a chat with the podium boys. So let's just see if they make their way in. I know sometimes they don't want to come in, but let's just see if they do. Let's see if they fancy a hop into the comms box. And we do have Luke. Let's have a little hello to Luke Whitehead. Luke! First of all, good evening.
Hello.
Welcome to the chat, and welcome to the top step. It seemed dominance was on the cards today, and everyone around you kind of fell apart. Did it feel that way to you in the cockpit today?
Yeah, well, first off, good evening, everyone. Hope we're all doing well. No, not really. I mean, obviously, I saw a fair few incidents, but yeah, pace didn't feel anything special. The car didn't feel particularly nice under my buttocks. There was a lot that I wanted to fix about the car and kind of couldn't. And yeah, like I wasn't honest. In all honesty, I wasn't particularly happy with how everything went. Like, yeah, we won and it's good. And obviously, Aidan unfortunately had a rough one. So obviously that helped for the championship and all. But yeah, from my side, I just didn't feel like I don't know. Complete contrast to how the last few races have been, where I felt really, under control in the car. I felt really confident with how I'm sitting. And today I've just not had the confidence whatsoever. The car just wasn't nice to drive. I mean, I spoke to a few other Porsche drivers who all experienced the same thing. I even spoke to Niels Narjogs, who's a bit of a legend in the ACC scene, and even he said the Porsche felt particularly strange around here.
Mm.
So maybe it's just a track car thing where it just it isn't really hooked up around here. But either way, it's a good result. But I think from my side, I need to have a look and see what I can kind of improve for next time, I think.
I was going to say, we did have a little trawl through the statistics of seasons of old, and you did win last time we were here by around about 10 seconds or so. So it seemed, I'm pretty sure you were in the same car then, or at least a Porsche. Whether it's changed to a different designation of Porsche since then, might have done. But yeah, it was still a very dominant performance. It's put you a step ahead of your main competition. Now, obviously, unfortunately, he had a disaster, your teammate. He got himself into a little bit of trouble, and then, yes, I think had some more trouble, but we missed it because he finished with Valentine Barrier back in 16th or so. So it's done very well for the championship, but hey, one round to go. Disasters can happen on both sides of the camp, so let's just, fingers crossed, you're in a good place, and it'll be, 5-time, hopefully?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, obviously, I feel bad for Aiden because obviously the Honda, having driven the Honda here before, I know that it is probably one of the worst combinations you can be dished out with, to be honest. So he really had it hard. All the Honda guys did. I noticed a couple of Hondas actually pulled out today. Didn't race. But as I say, it's just gonna do with what you're dealt with. And Aiden got unlucky today, and Spa could be the same for me. So I'm not counting my blessings just yet, but. I think I've got about an 85-point lead now, which is pretty much I can finish anywhere inside the top. I'm lead to the maths now. Anywhere inside the top 18, and I'll have the championship. So, barring anything truly catastrophic.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened. I think Boothby had a disaster at Misano one year, and that cost him the championship. Had a hardware issue. But yeah, I mean, look,
exactly.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Hopefully it doesn't. Yeah. Well, Luke, well done, mate. It looks like the odds are, but I won't say it. But we'll see you next week, hopefully, for another fun performance round Spa. Everyone should be quite close, so I don't know where to call it either. So let's just see what happens. Hopefully you have a bit of rain. You never know.
No rain.
Please rain. Yes, lots of rain. Thanks, buddy, as always.
Spar's not a great track for me, so we'll see.
We'll see.
But
no problem.
Thanks again, Rach. Have a good one.
You too. See you soon, buddy.
Bye.
Right, let's have a chat then with Alejandro. We haven't actually spoken to Alejandro before. I think it's the first time he's on the podium, so let's drag him up and see how he's done. Alejandro, I think it's the first time we've actually had a chat. So, hello, welcome, good evening, and well done. Really good position and really good finishing position. Great race as well. Tell me how it went.
Hello. Well, it's the first time in the Tier 1. I won 2 races last year, so we had another interview, but this is the first one.
Ah, fantastic. So were you in Tier 2 last season?
Yeah. Yes. No, like 3 seasons ago, in season 12, I think.
Ah, okay. So you've had a few race wins with AOR, but this is the first time you've had a podium in Tier 1, which is a considerable step up. So well done. The car looks fantastic. I love the livery. But I know you had a few battles throughout the pack, and I know obviously your closest battle was with Valentine Barrier. Were you happy to see him spin as it happened there, or is that just is what it is?
I didn't notice until the 2 corners next. I saw in the rear mirror and said, "Oh my God, where's Barrier?" So I said, "Well, maybe this will be a more peaceful race than sorry, I'm a bit nervous."
It's okay, man. It's all good. You obviously you had a little bit of a battle there with Samir too. Was he ever a threat, or did you always think you had the measure of his pace?
He stopped 2 laps earlier than me, so I knew he was gonna cut a bit of the distance we had. But I think we timed it right because I exited it earlier than him. But a bit at the beginning I was a bit afraid, but I had it under control at the end. He had, I think, a bit more deck than me, so all under control.
Ah, good stuff. Well, Alejandro, how do you pronounce your surname? Because we always kind of struggle. How's it best said?
It's called Avilés.
Aviles. Okay. Alejandro sounds a lot better anyway. It's easier off the tongue. So well done,
Don't
buddy.
worry.
Hopefully we see you up here again. And you never know, one more step up would be even better.
I hope.
Yep.
With Luke,
Good. I hope
he's
so,
really,
man.
he's always really hard.
You got a lot of fans in the chat. Loads of people say they've been cheering you on today. So well done with the second place. Good stuff.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you for all the things, always supporting.
All good, man.
And
All
for
good.
my father, he's always next to me.
Ah,
Literally.
Dad's with you too. Love it. Well, your son's done good today, boy. So well done. Good job.
Thank you.
No problem.
See you
Hopefully we
another
speak to you soon.
place.
Good night. No problem at all.
Bye.
And then last up, Samir. It's been a long time since we've seen Samir, so it'd be good to have a little chat. Let's drag him up. Actually can't drag him up, so I'll go to him. Samir! I couldn't drag you up, but I'm not sure if you can hear me. Samir, can you hear us? Are you all good?
Hello, yes. I can.
Hello. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I had a bit of a problem there. I couldn't
Hello.
get you into the comms, so I joined you. P3,
Ah.
second podium for AOR Tier
Oh.
1. One of the old guard.
Wait, is it?
Or was it not? Is
I
it?
can't remember the last one. It's been a long time. I can't remember.
I
Maybe.
went back, and as far as I went back, I think season 14, you had a third place in Donington. I'm pretty sure.
Possible.
Possibly. Let's have a look.
Possible, yeah.
Donington. Yes. Samir,
Yeah, I
Donington.
think I might even kind of remember the race, yeah.
I don't know. Well, I think I only joined maybe 2 or so seasons before then. So correct me if you've had one before then. But I know you've been part of AOR for a long time, and you always take part in the, well, you have done some of the endurance stuff. So, I mean, congrats. It's great to have a chat. How did the race go for you? At one point, did you think that you had the pace to catch up to Alejandro?
Well, that was kind of the goal with the undercut, to just get close, because I expected him to drop more on pace, like all the Astons behind, but he was so good on the tires on the second stint. I was really expecting that my undercut will be good enough to catch him, and it was. Like, I caught more than I even expected. I was right on his bumper after he pitted, but yeah, he just kept the tires alive, and I was hoping I would have the advantage on the tires towards the end, even with the undercut, because this car is really good usually on tires, but didn't quite play out. He was super, super fast in that second stint.
And I've got to ask, why always the same Ferrari? Is it just it works for you, so you just use it?
It's just the most fun car to drive. If I stream this every day, all day. If I do that, I might as well drive the thing that's the most fun.
Yes, fair enough.
Nothing has beaten this yet, so
Fair
here
enough.
I am once again. On the 488.
It's not AOR Tier 1 without Samir in that Ferrari, so it's always good to see you in it. I mean, we almost got there last season. I think you were in Misano, you were winning for quite a while, and then some incidents happened. I was cheering.
Then I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
it.
I was like, oh my god, Samir's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to finally win. And I can't remember who won that now. In the end, there was controversy throughout that race as well. But I mean, yeah, we're back on the podium, and it's great to see you here. So well done. And yeah, hopefully a few more in future.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
No problem, Samir. Thanks for jumping in. And yeah, we'll see you soon, hopefully.
See you.
See you in a bit. Right, there we go. That was Samir Foch. Like I say, one of the old guard of AOR. So always good to have a chat with him. Never normally up in the top spots, but that's not to say that he isn't fast enough. He's very fast, and he's in lesser machinery, you've got to remember. So yeah, good to talk to Samir, and like I say, fantastic that he's always in that Ferrari. You can count on Samir to be in the red Ferrari. Anyway, we shall leave it there, guys. We have one more round to go. Luke Whitehead looks like he's poised to take his 5th championship with AOR. Who can stop him? I don't know how possible it's going to be for anyone else now, but we can hope. You never know. Aidan Walsingham, unfortunately, after that disaster, looks like he is on the cards to run away, to not catch up, not have enough in the piggy bank to be able to catch the runaway, is what I mean, of Luke Whitehead. We'll have to wait and see, guys. Look, you can join us tomorrow for Tier 2 with Tim. Unfortunately, Tim couldn't join us today, but he will be back tomorrow, as far as I'm aware. So if you wanted to see that, then you can join us. Same time, same place. for the interesting stuff over in Tier 2. Just a quick shout out on what's going on over there. Ryan Cooper currently just barnstorming it. He will win the championship, I'm sure. We've got Audrey Nerestrov in second place, Jimmy Holm, the Holmster, the Holming Missile in P3, Jonathan Clifford P4, and Gregory Badaborov, that's a strong one, in P5. So yeah, join us tomorrow at 7:30 if you want a little bit of that with Tim, and come back next week, guys, because we've got the final round of season 15. Can Luke Whitehead make it 5? It's looking good. We'll see you next week.